Hello and welcome to Born Complete the Stories. This podcast is all about the stories that shape us, the messy ones, the meaningful ones, and the ones we're still learning from. This is a space for honest conversations about growth, healing, identity, and becoming. A deep reminder that we do not have to have it all figured out. We can simply show up just as we are. My name is Gemma, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the podcast. Oh my word. This podcast in particular, I'm super excited to do because, as much as I've loved sharing how everything relates back to my brand and the story behind it, I want to get real and deep about things that I'm currently going through. And it doesn't mean I won't speak about the past, but it's crazy how in the last few months I have learned so much, not only about life, but about myself. And there's been so much growth there, and I'm just super excited to share it with everyone. Today, I'm really keen to speak about how imperfect the last few months of my life have been, but what I've learned from them. First and foremost, I've been through many trials and tribulations in my life. I am not scared of going through hard things and learning something through that, and character development, character building. I'm not scared of all of that. But when I tell you these last few months have been insane in that department, I have a lot to talk about. Okay. Change is the most constant thing in life. And that has been literally all these last few months have been for me. I can't say like massive tangible changes, but just in my mentality, in the way that I see life, in the way that I view myself even, there's been a lot of change. And for anyone who knows me on a personal level, change is not something that I'm very good at, okay? It's really not. I really struggle to adjust to change. I love familiarity. I love normality. I just love my routine. I love things being the way that they are. And of course, that's never been a constant in my life, but I get very attached to routine. And I start to identify myself with a lot of familiar things in the sense of like, the people I surround myself with, what I do on a day-to-day basis, what my career looks like, what my studies look like, and my self-development, my self-growth. And everything about that has changed for me. So basically, in the last few months, actually, I'd go as far to say a year of my life, I have faced things that I thought I overcame because I've always had the mindset of like, you're going to be put in the same situation until you learn otherwise. And I've been tested to new levels. And there's genuinely no amount of words that can actually emphasize that. Like, I'm actually finding it hard to like structure the way I'm saying it because it's truly been a chaotic whirlwind of a ride. And I would be lying if I say that I'm on the other side and I've figured it all out and I'm in a better place, because it's a lot. Like, it's one thing to start your own business and start a new chapter of your life and kind of have to adjust yourself to that version of you and step into your confidence more, step into your discipline and your kindness, just all the best traits that are needed in this role. And then to be going through so many life altering changes all at once. And I will stand on the fact that I'm definitely an empath. I'm someone who feels on a very deep level. And that can be positive and a negative because I'm sensitive in the right and in the wrong moments. Like, the ability to be so empathetic has allowed me to understand people on the level that they need to be heard and seen and understood. But it's also caused me a lot of conflict and heartache with taking things too personally in my personal life and internalizing them, consuming myself in that, and, almost believing things that are not even true about me. And I've really tried to find the balance. It's very difficult. But for the first time in my life, and I don't say this with a victim mentality, I don't say it to gain attention, I don't say it for any ill intent. It's genuinely like real to me and what I've been feeling. But for the first time in my life, I have truly felt hated. Like, to be disliked is one thing, but I've truly met the feeling of being disliked to like a whole new extent, and for certain things that I didn't do and for who I am not. And as devastating as that is to work through mentally, which for some people might just be like, oh, these people don't like me, they don't get it, or like, oh yeah, moving on to people who like do understand, whatever. But for me, I want to leave this life truly knowing that every interaction I have, especially like the older and wiser I get, is met with love and kindness, and people feel that because, like I've said before, this world is so harsh. So to know that kind of being misinterpreted is very out of your control, and I'm not going to be over defensive or anything because I've realized that more now than ever. I've always known it and I've never claimed to be perfect, but now more than ever, I've learned to understand my imperfections and appreciate the fact that I'm always trying to be better and I'm always trying to grow, and I'm always trying to go into everything with a good intention. And again, like when that is misinterpreted, it is something very difficult to deal with because, again, as someone who feels so deeply and almost connects to people in a way that like, which has made it really difficult. I don't know if you go through this as well, but you understand them so well that you understand their point of things so deeply that sometimes it gets confusing to know if like you're valid in what you feel and think, or if like it's not about being wrong and right, but if they actually have more validity in what they think and feel than you do, because you are so used to connecting to people on that level and understanding people on that level that sometimes it's hard to find the line between this is not who I am and, like, is what they saying are true? So that's a struggle I've been dealing with for a long time. It's been such a weird experience because obviously this isn't the first time, and like I have been disliked. I mean, anyone in their whole lives is going to be disliked by someone. You're not for everybody, but you're for the people who are meant for you and that you're meant for, if that makes any sense. Obviously, just because of the things that trigger me, like it's very hard for me to deal with. This is something that I need to hear, but for anyone going through the same thing and waking up in days and feeling like you can't do anything right, feeling like the world is against you, feeling like everything you do is going to be misinterpreted, or everything that you are and try to be in with good intention is just going to be like dug at and like manipulated. It is so important to remember that you are only hurt by the things that you actually believe. And as much as it's easier said than done, if you are believing things that someone is telling you about yourself that you are not, and you know you are not, you need to work on your self concept, which is a huge reminder to myself as well. We need to be so confident in ourselves that external commentary and external negativity and judgment doesn't lay a hand on our self concept. It is so important to be so grounded in yourself that you have the courage to be disliked and don't need to protect or defend or project anything towards those people, that person, whatever. It is so important to be grounded in yourself and to work through it. Like, the best revenge is healing. And as much as that might not please everyone that hears it, the more you heal, the better you become, and the more positive of a person, the more good intent you put out there, the more it's going to piss those people off. When you get angry and you match the level to the people who hurt you or the people who judge you, whatever the case may be, you are becoming like them. So ask yourself in those moments, is getting your own justice or playing on your own karma worth having behavior like them? That's something that I had to learn as well. As simple as it is, I would be lying if I said that it's something that hasn't played on my mind every day and deeply affected the way that I operate on a day to day. I am slowly but surely learning to accept what is, to accept that Sometimes you are going to face circumstances that don't make you feel understood and heard, and that twist your intentions. But at the end of the day, you continue being true to yourself. You continue showing up for yourself, and you continue living your life in a place of peace, kindness, and love. And whatever hurt you may be accountable for, or whatever decisions you made, again, to just acknowledge what you did at the time was the best with what you knew, and to forgive yourself. Because if you're choosing to show up differently now, you do not need to hold on to that guilt as identifying as the person who did that. Take pride in the growth and move with it. The second thing I've learned is you have to be so comfortable in the discomfort of evolving and becoming that you no longer react to things out of your control. I heard this from either I read it or I heard it from someone who kind of like adjusted to that way of living, and they said the best thing you can do in your life is be neutral. Enjoy, like, feel joy, feel sadness, feel whatever you need to feel in that moment, but the power of becoming neutral means that whether a situation is going extremely well or extremely negatively, you are still in control of your emotions, and you can still ground yourself in the present and be in a place of gratitude, in other words. So right now, I am basically in a place where I don't know what's coming next. I know I need to make a lot of changes. I need to show up for myself more. I need to look after my health more. I need to spend time on my faith, my spiritual, emotional, mental health. And it's very easy to get caught up in so much when life is busy and work is hard, and you have priorities and commitments, and there's like troubling things going on in your life. It is very difficult. But if you don't learn to be okay with yourself and get to a neutral place of contentment, life is going to feel chaotic all the time, because life will never stop throwing stuff at you. Life will never stop teaching you things. And the more comfortable you become with being in the discomfort, the more you grow, the more you evolve, and the more you step into empowerment, for sure. Another thing I've learned very deeply is to have a level of patience with yourself and patience with other people. You are literally only human, genuinely. You are only learning. You are doing this life for the first time. You may not know everything. You may not understand why things are happening, but the moment you let go of trying to control everything going on in your life is genuinely the moment when you step into a life filled with greater joy, greater peace, greater contentment. The more pressure you're putting on yourself, the more resistance you're creating towards the things that are meant to come into your life. The more you identify yourself with the things that are destroying you mentally or hurting you, is the more life will keep throwing the same lesson at you until you learn it. And I'm a culprit of this. To navigate, because I feel so deeply, but I need to learn a lot about just being patient with myself and not having to actually figure everything out. Like, that's a huge thing. You do not have to have everything figured out. It doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 50, or 60. Life is completely different for everyone. It is meant to teach everyone their own lessons, give everyone their own purpose, give everyone their own timeline. You are not defined by society's standard of what is acceptable and what is not. Your journey might take longer to accomplish than somebody else. You might get things freely, and other people might have to work 10 years for it. It doesn't matter. You have to be able to own your own life and take pride in your own journey and be patient with yourself throughout, because this life is limitless for you. Everything you are dreaming to achieve, as long as you put your mind to it and you chase it with all you've got, you will achieve it. There is no doubt. So let go of the pressure, let go of the pain, let go of everything holding you back, and just step into a life that you're meant to achieve. And it sounds easier said than done, but it's that simple. In order for things to flow freely into your life, you've got to be okay with yourself. You can't be putting pressure on yourself and expect to get this dream job. You got to believe in yourself to get the dream job. You know what I'm saying? Last thing that I want to end this off with is I am so proud of you. I am so proud of how far you've come. I am so proud of the fact that through life's difficulties, you keep on going and you keep on fighting for yourself. And no matter what challenges you face, you defeat 100% of your hard days. And even if you don't feel like you believe in yourself, there has to be a certain level of belief to get to where you are now. And you deserve to know that people take pride in you and that people look up to you and that you are a determined individual. You are literally born to achieve so much in your life, no matter what anyone says, no matter how much negative commentary you get, no matter what life throws at you. You are more than capable. You are able. You are worthy of all of that good in life. And if you haven't heard this in a long time, I want you to hear it from me. You may not know me on a personal level. There may be someone just talking through a screen, but you are so worthy of everything good in life. And I hope that you know that even someone random that you don't know believes in you. There is nothing stopping you. And it doesn't matter what life challenge you're facing, you are so loved. I believe in you wholeheartedly. So yes, life is going to have its ups and downs. We all know that. But throughout that, I encourage you to keep going, keep believing, because right on the other side of that wall is everything you've ever dreamed of. And all it takes is hope and perseverance. If this episode resonated with you, send it to someone who might need it too. Always remember, your story matters. It was never meant to shrink, and no matter how different your circumstances are, no matter the struggle you have faced or are currently facing, you are and have always been born complete. Until next time, keep growing, keep becoming, and I'll see you in the next episode.